Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Today is Friday, February 27th, 2026. It's almost the end of February. Black History Month. Some would call it. We call it. Being black is dope. And I'm not going to be long. I don't think. I'm not going to be long. But I wanted to go live and talk about this from a different perspective. All right. This whole 50 Cent versus Ti versus 50 Cent, it's really exposing how a lot of you dislike unity. And what you mean? What you mean, Professor? How can you dislike? How can unity be in a beef? How can unity be a part of beef? Because let me just take care of this right quick. Because number one, it shows how weak your family values are. It shows y'all always speaking and saying black men is always being this, black men is always being that, black men is always being that. Now let me hit you with a black man is always. And when I do these, I always do it from a teachable standpoint, not a chastise, not a prop nobody else up on a level. But it seems like for us and some of y'all black men, black males, you only get upset with a man when he defend his family or his wife. Well, what you mean by that? Because when Will Smith slapped the Elmer Fudd out of Chris Rock, I have seen so many dudes pissed off at Will Smith. Pissed off at Will Smith. Will Smith ruining his legacy. Will Smith effing up the bag because he can't control his emotions. Will Smith this. I never forget, what's that old washed up comedian, George Wallace, how he went on PR and he just lit into Will Smith, degrading Will Smith family further. How Tony Rock is still acting like a scorned ex that just can't get over what he did to his brother. He ain't calling him out for no one-on-one phase now. But he just want to sit from a bitter perspective and be upset because you hit my brother. You hit my brother. How dare you hit my brother, right? And the signal that we send is everything else is off limits except my family. Don't talk about my cars. Don't talk about nothing that'll directly affect my ego. But you can disrespect my woman. This is in the Will Smith case. I ain't got into Ti yet. You can disrespect my woman in front of a room full of white folks. Since y'all always concerned how people behave, I can't stand black folks that's always concerned how we're behaving in the presence of white folks. How we behaving in the presence of people that got a history of eating people and not bathing. But somehow we're always concerned about how we look in front of these people. So nobody was concerned about how he humiliated a black woman. Y'all can feel whatever y'all feel about Jada Pinkett, but she's still a black woman. Like I say, I'm not gonna never, ever, with a lot of evers, miss a chance to throw that fuck nigga R. Kelly under the bus every time and drive the bus. Because no, R. Kelly is not the only one. But what I come after is the protection of black people have around him, the affinity, how they feel like they have to run to this pedo aid and say, well, Jerry Lee Lewis, here we go. You talk about the degeneracy of white folks, yet you act like they're a different breed. You say you got his back and you listen to him no matter what he did, but Jada Pinkett is supposed to be open fire. Her husband is not supposed to protect her because y'all don't feel she worth protecting, right? So a black man is able to do everything but protect his woman and his family. If T.I. was out here crashing out over something else, or if it was somebody else that y'all didn't revere or feel like they was as powerful as 50, y'all would love it. If 50 was mashing the gas on T.I. like this, you would love it. I'm not playing favorites. My principle is what's right and what's not. My principle is respect. My principle is honor. So I'm not caught up in it. Am I enjoying the music? Absolutely. I'm a hip hop fan. Am I enjoying watching? You know what? You know what makes me respect this? How the family is surrounded by the woman. Because for so long, us as black males collectively, I gotta put myself in it. Even though I don't talk like this, I'm exempt with talking in these ways. I'm still a black man. So us collectively, we have been conditioned. I did a whole live earlier in the week talking about the conditions, talking about behavior modification, right? So see some of my previous stuff if you want to know what I'm talking about being conditioned. We have been conditioned. B.F. Skinner, John B. Watson, Albert Bandura. I'm going to say those names. We have been conditioned through years of behavior modification to be the way they desire, right? To be the way that they desire. And for the longest, we have been, especially for these last year or two, we have been conditioned to get worse with how we view women. Like I said, I don't listen to a lot of these dudes because they're not balanced. You know, notice the money said in one of his lines, he said, I'm more level headed than the ones they're going to send, you know, where they're going to send them. And this is my opinion. When somebody say level headed, that means they're more balanced. I ain't too kind, but I ain't too wicked either. I have a level, even balance of it, right? But we have been conditioned more and more and more to want to leave women and children open fire, right? Now, some say ain't no rules to WAR. Some say no women and children. But I'm a big proponent of, I just celebrated my mom's 6-year transitioning anniversary on yesterday and her birthday. So I'm a big proponent of, if my mom is not here, I'm not going to talk about nobody's mother. I don't do that. I don't talk about people's mother. I don't talk about people's wives. If I'm into it with somebody, it's about them. Then if they up the ante, you up the ante. I'm not going to drag somebody in it that don't have to be. Right? But the problem is that a lot of y'all are just fanboys and fangirls. I've never seen so many people bitch and complain about rapping. And I remember, I gotta find the audio where 50 said, and he used the word that I use a lot. He said, I condition the people, and I'm paraphrasing since I can't find it and play it verbatim. But he said, I got the people conditioned to where I get away with certain things other people can't. Yo, he said, I condition the people to get away with things that other people, I can get away with things that other people can't. And when we use that word condition, y'all gotta go deep into your bag now. I'm here to help. I'm not here to save nobody. I'm not here to be nobody's leader. I'm not here to be nobody's savior. I'm not here to I'm here to just help you understand that your conscious level is predicated on how you see the world, how you see life. That's why they turn it into a negative connotation and they say woke. Because I'm not asleep to the BS. I'm not asleep what's going on to the world. Right? But what I'm looking at, on top of people just whining and complaining about hip hop because 50 don't want to rap, and y'all will defend his BS for years. I've never liked 50. I like that Get Rich or Die Trying album, but after that, everything else was just trash. Right? You like the mogul. See, this is where we get into the schizoid and the bipolarness of you people that defend this, right? Because out one side of your mouth, you say black women are always the ass of everybody else's joke. When he a dog out Tierra Marie, 50 dog out Notori Nottin. Notori Nottin don't bother nobody. And when he dogs out Clarissa Shields, but everybody hate Clarissa Shields, right? It's okay, right? He dog out Clarissa Shields, and see what's diabolical about these when he into it with these women, he goes exactly for their looks, their features. When it was Notori Nottin, he put her up to Goro from Mortal Kombat, and Notori Nottin is fine. She don't look nothing like that. But it's about destroying a person. It's about destroying a black woman's self-esteem. It's about destroying black men that he into it with self-worth. But y'all people that ride for 50, I've had disagreements. You'll see takes that where I have said things in disagreements with T.I. because I'm not a fanboy. But what I can respect about T.I. and the Harris family, that they all riding together, and that's what they're showing. That a lot of y'all don't have these values that one band, one sound. When y'all was looking for people to defeat the Wayans family, Will Smith, y'all said he wouldn't have did that to the Wayans family. He would have had to fight all of them. Why? Because they are a unit. They love each other. They are one. How do y'all even respect 50 that he dogs out his oldest son? He dogs out his oldest son and mother. How y'all respect males like this? Because that ain't no man. Because you agree with him. There's a level of relatability from him to you. That's why you agree with it. Because in the conditioning of black males, notice that most of them always see black women as the villain. And black women, they got to get their stuff together. Like I said, this is no panda bear. We don't do that here because you can't help people. If I weaponize my masculinity and I'm here just singing women praises and telling them everything they do is right, I actually don't love black women. I actually hate them. If I tell them everything they do is right, I don't love them. Same thing with dudes. If I tell black men everything they do is right, and yes, she the big bad wolf, I don't love my people. I can't say I love my people and I'm not telling them the truth. Because when you love somebody, you correct them. You correct them like, no, bro, that ain't it. No, sis, that ain't it. But you could put out all of these things of him allegedly beating up women. Setting his baby mama's house on fire. You can see all of these wicked characteristics, but because you like him or you like his mogul status, or you like the shows that he put out, because he ain't put out no music and we don't know when, it makes you omit or forget effed up behavior. And that's not saying T.I. is no model saint, but what T.I. is he step up for his family. That I can respect because it's not personal. Y'all are coming at this like it's personal. Y'all fanboying 50 like it's personal, like y'all know him. And 50 will walk past you like you a piece of trash in the street. Now, I saw a sister earlier and she was speaking on this. And I commented very absolute or very matter of fact, but I did it in a respectful way. Because in her video, she was like, black people are the only ones that do this to each other. And I said respectfully to that sister, go deeper. These surface level we keep saying we the only one that do this to each other. We the only one that fight each other. We the only ones that have endured the hell that we've been endured in this United States, across the world. Why? And that's when we get into the behavior modification. See, in order for these Nazis, these white supremacists, whatever you want to call them, I'm not splitting hairs. Whatever these KKK, whatever these ICE, whatever this Trump cabinet, whatever they are doing, and this is way beyond the tangerine toucher, because this is years, this is layered. Whatever they have done or continue to do, in order for them to continue to rule, it is imperative, all capital letters, imperative that we be out of our minds. That the people in general, we the people, but it's very imperative that those dark ones, that those black ones be out of their mind, because we know their strength. We know their genetics. We've been studying their genetics since we encountered them. It's imperative that these people remain dysfunctional. It's imperative that they only fight each other, because they don't fight each other, who else they gonna fight? Oh, us. So yeah, we gotta make sure we keep blood versus Crip, East versus West, 63rd from 63rd versus 64, South versus North. It's imperative that we make them think that they are their number one enemy. Because what we repeat, we say, we our own biggest enemy. Our own biggest enemy. Our enemy, we our own biggest enemy. That's the only thing y'all know to say. No, we not. We the only enemy that we recognize. We are the only enemy that we recognize. So I can respect that. I don't want to hear King took it too far. I can respect, his blended family more than Cam Newton's, because Cam Newton, he has values. I'm not gonna diss that black male like that, but Cam Newton don't really have no values. It's just everything you can just tell. It's all about him in that house, right? But I love to see how they represent Tiny like that. Because we talking about 50, but the world troll her for no reason. World troll King for no reason. Call that young man ugly. Call her ugly for no reason. She don't say nothing out of pocket. But I watch black females defend Natalie Nunn. Because the internet is a wicked substance. I can't say the word or they'll do that. But the internet is a wicked substance. And it's insatiable. Right? So it really exposing the core values that y'all don't like family. Y'all don't recognize family unity. Because notice also in this conditioning, notice everybody want to be just separate. Everybody influencing each other just to die alone. Don't be around nobody, just die alone. Cut your family off. And like I keep saying, what's around the corner, because these people are playing chess. You know my boy B.O.B., he got a song, he say, you so focused on who fucking who, you don't realize who fucking you. You be sucking into who fucking who, you don't realize who fucking you, bending over, motherfucker. You so focused on who fucking who, you don't realize who fucking you. Right? So they building these concentration camps, because don't think your black American status gonna keep your black ass out them camps. And whatever sidebar, whatever Eric Benet is on, I like it. Whatever Eric Benet is on, I like it. I like a celebrity that's speaking his mind like that. So if you're looking at this, you choosing sides. Stop choosing sides. That's the first thing y'all coming in. Team 50, Team T.I. No, I'm telling you what's right. Because if T.I. was doing that same thing, it'll be a sucker move. I don't care who I like. He got y'all thinking that it's okay to insult a man's family. Because a lot of y'all dudes that's sitting up here saying that, what y'all do is y'all tell me that is y'all will let somebody, either y'all are extremely hypocritical. I can go for that. Either y'all are extremely hypocritical, Or y'all will let somebody insult your mother, your children, and your family. And because you revere them or you fear them, or they supposed to be this boogeyman, you won't even defend their honor. How you don't honor your own bloodline? And what they showing is one band, one sound, and I can respect that. We all riding together. We all showing our musical talent because it was about music. I challenged him to a versus. He agreed. I step out and he start this trolling. 50 Cent is an overly grown man. When will we stop hyping up male, these, how you call them? Not man child, but these baby Hueys. These baby Hueys that they're these big old overgrown children. And y'all think that's cool. And then to pull Beyonce mama in. No, and notice I'm not a fan of none of these. I'm not fanned out to none of these people. But it's a thing called principle. So you gonna target anybody that say anything, and then like a Karen, when somebody say something to him, he pretend to play because he playing mind games on you. I'm busy. I don't have time. Ain't that what them Karens do? When them Karens walk down the hall and harass black people, hey, what you doing here? Do you live here? And then when the people turn around and give them static, now they're acting like a victim and they're crying. That's why the Karen is always dangerous. I'm going to do a whole live on the Karen personality. Y'all don't like family values. Y'all don't like family values. Trying to apply, hey, Queen K, trying to apply the 48 laws of power to the situation. That shit ain't going to work. It's not going to work. And I made a short saying that, K, that 50 studied these things, and he even got a book called The 50th Law with Robert Greene. And here's my thing for the sister that I was on her in her comments and talking with her. And we kept saying 50 trolls everybody. Don't say that. Stop saying he trolls everybody. He trolls every black person. He trolls only black people. Because do y'all think he would troll and destroy Robert Greene like that? Do you think he would destroy and dog out Robert Greene and post Robert Greene's family like that? You think he would do Elon Musk like that? You think he would do Donald Trump like that? But these are the people that you revere. And remember, I know Queen K was on the live the other day when I talked about third party and opinion making. When automatically they influence your leader, they automatically get you to fall in line. It's a given. You don't even know what's hitting you. You think you're in charge of your mind? No, you're not. It's like they used to have that live where that dude said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not as in charge of your mind as you think you are. You got to really understand the nuances. Not because I say so. Not because it's my opinion. Read the literature. Read. This is what I always say when the people say, our ancestors died to vote. If you don't vote, and I had to correct the OG that got on my live on another one and told me because I didn't vote, I shouldn't say nothing. No. You got too much dip on your chip now, OG. You can't tell me. Because see, here's our thing. We always want to act like it's only one way to solve this problem. And it damn sure ain't voting. Now, I never deter nobody from it. But this is what I also will say. They didn't die to vote. They wasn't like, if I could just make it to this vote poll. Number one, they were killed for voting rights. But two, how come you never lead with this the way you lead with screaming about people about voting? They really died for reading. They were killed for reading. Who told you how to read? Read and liberate your mind. I'm not knocking nobody because I put boots on the ground, and I'm not talking about a dance. I put boots on the ground and have been out there and helped people whose family has been wrongfully uh, effed up. Mothers and fathers whose children was victims of police brutality and police unaliving. I've stood with my people in the trenches. So you can't reduce my voice because I didn't press no button. Don't do me like that. Because that's like me saying, because you never put boots on the ground, you don't have no voice. We got to stop minimizing each other and understand that it's levels to this. It's pieces to the puzzle. It ain't just one piece. Stop thinking that simplistic. Stop thinking you're gonna beat this system by pressing one button and voting in another person that they selected to the system. Stop thinking on that surface level. Stop thinking on that surface level. Stop thinking that it's that easy. It's not. It's not. You got to really learn to control. Got it on the first try. Them things be so hard to put on clip on if I don't have strings sometimes. But stop thinking that simple. That's why when I had a dude and my fam, my girl Queen K was on. She always know what I'm talking about. There was he wasn't Armenian. He was something else. I forget his ethnicity or nationality. And he was on, and the way he was speaking, and he was and once I began to break it down to him, I think he left with a real understanding, and that's what matters to me. That you leave with an understanding. And we got into the family dynamics, right? Of how his family dynamics were. And I asked him, I said, number one, do the men in your country or your culture sit around and talk about how the women of that culture have no value, how they ran through, how if they got this, I've just got through listening to an old live where dude was talking about the option to take care of children, and the man ought to have the option to take care of the children if he don't want to. And the dude said no. He said, not only do we not do that, but, and I asked him a question. I said, what would happen if y'all did that for 3 generations? He said, there would be no generation. So when y'all get in here and y'all say everybody else, no, black people the only ones, that's because everybody else are more in tune with who they are. They're not walking around saying they're foundational, whatever. No, we're not. We Moors. No, we're not. We're Egyptologists. No, we're not. What is? No, we're not. No, what you are is you're confused. You don't know who you are. Right? And what's funny about this, we think that it's as simple as voting, y'all. Oh, we're gonna vote and we're gonna have another 4 years of peace. But how do we have peace when we don't even have family values? That you got brothers that done been conditioned to say, I got an option if I even want to take care of her. And you misuse your sexual energy, fellas. You misuse your sexual energy, ladies. But I'm going to talk to the fellas. You use it because you only use it for recreation. You use the woman's body for recreation. You don't understand the beauty in procreation. Because you're listening to that little fairy, Kevin Samuels. You're listening to old Marblehead Anton Daniels. You're listening to the Goofies Fit and Fresh. You're listening to the goofy Andrew Tate. You listening to everybody. And number one, I got to a point where I don't need another man to tell me how to be a man and feel about my women. What type of loser are you? You're such a fucking loser. You ain't even go to class, Bueller. What type of loser need to sit around in a male powwow and talk about how disgusting women are? Sounds a little. Let me see. I'm still trying to wrap why we fought to attend their schools without having an exit plan. You know what? You know what, Kay? I think because it's just my opinion that I think that we thought the school was the plan. You know how sometimes I felt like when they gave us this quote unquote integration, we were just happy. We were just happy to be there. That's like when a Negro gets some money and he want to move to an all-white area because for something in your mind, in their minds, Queen K, we be telling them about this right here, don't we? This is foundational Black American history right here. This is ADOS right here. This your FBA history right here. This is part of your history. This ain't your totality, but this is part of your history. Right? So when they technology your mind and when they hit our mind with a loaded weapon from every angle, somehow you think after some of the stuff that I could read you in this book, somehow you think they don't look at how they don't pimp your mind. See, Rosebud ain't got nothing on this. Gorgeous Dre ain't got nothing on this. Fillmore Slim, I don't care what pimp you give me. Pimp Ken ain't got nothing on that white boy. Because he can screw you, he can pimp you for hundreds of years and make your mind say living next to him is therapeutic and peaceful. Ooh, church. Mm. He can throw cocktail bombs in your house. He can kaboom a church with little girls in it. Then he can get in your head and make you say, "I'm gonna move away from black people." Boost like what Boosie say on Vlad with all that white stuff in the corner of his mouth. Hey, number one, let me say this before I say that. If you got that white shit in the corner of your mouth, do not talk to me. I'm gonna tell you got it in your mouth first of all. But if your mouth foam up like Lil Boosie, don't talk. You need to learn sign language or text people. If you're gonna walk around with your mouth like that, all that money Booster got, he can't do nothing about that marshmallow in the corner of his mouth. But anyway, I digress on that. But he got his black ass on Vlad and said, "Oh yeah, black people are the most violent people." And see, when you speak like that, I know you don't have nothing in your head. When you speak like that, I know you don't have a damn thing in your head. You ain't read a book. You don't know nothing about our story. You don't know his story. Because I always say this, and I don't have to move this talking point until somebody understands it. If we were this violent and they had to clutch their purses, how the hell we end up with all white fountains and colored fountains? How the hell we end up in segregation? How the hell did they dog out Jackie Robinson when he go from town to town? If black people can be just as racist too, how come we still breaking color barriers and being the first black to do something in 2026? If we could be, who's the first white person to ever do something? How many first whites do we celebrate? I mean, since we are so goddamn racist, it's the technology of the mind. So y'all thought I was gonna come here and just talk about some TIP. I like that, but I'm not gonna get so far to celebrity. They rich at the end of the day. But I love how they standing up for each other. I love that. They regular at the end of the day on that. I love family unity. I might not care nothing about Deion Sanders, but I like the way his boys and his children are siblings. I like that about us. I went to a program last night at my baby school, and I loved that. I said, and I kept saying all throughout that program, I love us. Most of y'all don't. We don't even love us. How many times do you find yourself saying, "I love us," versus something negative? How many times do you find yourself saying, "I love my people," versus you looking for a zaddy to save you? You a black male thinking Miss Ann gonna be your savior. Black women, I know a Negro dude when he say black women got too much attitude. I'm gonna go get a white woman, because they ain't like that. Every time you Negroes say that, I read a story, and I always gonna call out my girl Queen K. Queen K heard this. I read this article out of this book where they lynched one of our ancestors for just brushing a white girl. He bumped her accidentally trying to go to the train car. And them white guys snatched him off the train and hung him up. And you tell me they more peaceful. See, Anton Daniels, Marblehead, ain't gonna tell you that because he got his head up their ass for a bag chaser. Umar ain't gonna tell you that because he wants you to call him Big Papa and hit the cash outs. Tariq Nasheed ain't gonna tell you that because he in Africa while he telling you Africans are dirty. But your mind is easily tricked. I told you, you don't have control of your mind the way you think you do. You don't. Because somebody on the internet can repeat a message and make you hate a people. Can make you hate a whole group of people that you never even had an opportunity. But yet, white people can tell you and show you for 100 years, and I don't want to hear that stuff at that BAFTA Awards about that old white boy with that damn Tourette syndrome. He can't control it. You punch him in his face, he can control it. I don't want to hear that because I'm tired of them always having an out when it's a disabled white boy or a white girl and they use racism to hide behind your disability. No, you get punched in your face with your disability. Because he knew when two black men stood before him, he knew to call out that word. Did we hear him call out kike? Shylock? Since he can't control it. And sometimes I'm going to say things like that. How come he didn't say kike? How come he didn't say spick? How come he didn't say Shylock? Because he got control of what he say. He know he done heard it enough. He hang around people that word is embedded in his mind to say it. We don't want to. We're not taking no excuses. You think they'll give a damn about my disability? I seen the police drag a person off in a wheelchair. They snatched him out of his car. He telling them, I'm a paraplegic. And they snatched him out of his car. He wasn't resisting. I seen a video where they pow down a man in a wheelchair. And you telling me this white boy needs sympathy just like that little ugly white boy William. No, we need to set a line of respect for us. How we think pressing a button gonna save us when we don't even have values and we don't even like our women? We battling over if we should be in our children's lives, and then we say the single mothers is out of hand. I don't know what that person right there talking about. Mental gymnastics. I don't know what context they're saying that in, but that's exactly what they take you through. That's exactly what we're going through. Because one minute we flip and saying, well, we don't need the right. If the woman got the right to choose, we need to choose too. But then when you see the children out of hand, you flip the other way and say, fathers, this is why y'all need to be in y'all children's life. A 2-parent household where Magic Johnson's son came from a 2-parent household. Dwayne Wade's son came from a 2-parent household. So don't give me this because the man is in the household, it won't make your son or daughter turn gay. That has nothing to do with it. You got to be able to talk to the person directly and figure out why. That could come out of a single family household. Had masculinity in the household. I don't know how masculine Dwayne Wade was in that house because he don't seem too goddamn masculine. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother lie. But the point I'm making, y'all are too limited in your minds of what you're trying to talk about. You're too black and white. You holding up an image and saying these single mothers is turning the sons like that. So why the hell Magic Johnson didn't stop it? If being a man, just being in the household is what it is, it's not about that. It's about how you rear that kid. And even still, that's not gonna save them because and I got generations behind me, so I'm qualified to talk about this. You can't control how your son or daughter turn out. Now you don't have to agree with that lifestyle. That's your prerogative. But stop putting stuff on people that y'all don't understand. That's what I'm saying. Focus on loving your children. Focus on reading those stories before they go to bed. Focus on reading affirmations to them, telling them why they're special. Focus on that more than you trying to get you another wife and trying to be the man and talk about one woman ain't enough to satisfy me. And from what I be hearing from the ladies, you don't even be satisfied in one woman. Then you're going to get two to have them sexually frustrated in the house with your ass. Focused on the wrong shit. Fuck Musclehead 50. 50 been the bane of the culture for the longest. Because like Queen K said, he on this 48 laws of power. And when you read that book, I know that book. It don't do nothing but show you westernized mindsets. So either you learning how that westernized mindset works or you becoming that westernized mindset. And this should be the line for us fellas. For us fellas that love our women. I'm not talking about these assholes that don't. That if they're not even procreating or with black women, they shouldn't be allowed to talk about black women. Same thing, ladies. Hold the line. If she walking around talking about a Chad or a Brad, why she even talking about us? You forfeited that right. You know what I'm talking about? We don't understand family values no more. We don't care about family no more. That's why y'all got a problem with T.I. That's why you got a problem with T.I.'s sons riding for their mother or their mother figure, because that's not the money and the other ones, Messiah, Buddy Red. Home is talented. Let me say, I will say this about them: those children are talented. Buddy Red or Messiah playing that guitar is talented. Messiah rapping is amazing. Even King has turned his life around as a young man. Y'all be so quick to talk about the youth. First thing y'all say, and I'll be in the comments. Whenever I see somebody say King ain't like that, he need to stop. It ain't about being like that. What is like that? Young Thug ain't like that. He was in the witness in the interrogation room giving up names. What is like that? First thing y'all did the same thing to Ja Morant. Oh, he ain't like that. Then look, here go to more mental gymnastics. Y'all say, oh, he went to a private school. As if he can't have no blackness in it. Because get what you know. The more people in that area, they more Carlton Banks. But you have some that slide through the cracks. How many times did y'all repeat that when y'all were tearing down Ja Morant, the youth, and saying his parents has a real good marriage, that Eminem shit? You clowned him and said he ain't like that because he got 2-parent household. And then them Big Meats and them show you in BMF that they came from a 2-parent household. Oh, we're going to dispel this whole 2-parent household. You come out so noble. Even though Deion Sanders, with his 8-toe self, got up there and said how he dissed them children in his recruiting. It's your mindset. How he said, and I'm paraphrasing, I want my offense to come from 2-parent households because they understand how to take structure. They got a man in the house. But I want my defense to be nasty, free lunch. See, all the negative connotations come from a single-parent household. And get what? If you got a real black mama, get what you do. Man, you come out of that household with some manners. Because real black mamas don't play that. It's always been the white parents, 2-parents household, 1-parent household. It's always been white children. Tell me I'm lying in my comments. Fuck you, mom. I don't want your fucking peas. You're such a whore, mom. Tell me I'm lying. Why y'all being here? Why y'all be singing white folks' praises? Goddamn boy down in his room making a kaboom. Or he drawing out a manifesto to lay everybody down in the school. But y'all sit there and y'all say, black folks the only one because that's the only ones you see. The news is so slanted. You mean to tell me, I'm going to keep putting this book in your face, people that did this automatically got good hearts and they don't commit no crime? Let me see if I got that audio. Y'all know I love to play audios in here too. Since black people can be racist too. Put a 1 in the chat if black people can be racist too. Right? You got to understand what you're looking at. And that's why I say in this live all the time, y'all don't understand what you're looking at. And goddamn it, I said I wasn't going to be long. But here I am. Hold on, let me play this. Let me make sure, because it got a habit of not playing. 1 second, y'all. And I want y'all to listen to the minds of these people. All righty. Listen.
I don't like them. What? I really don't.
What do you think of black people?
I don't like them.
What?
I really don't. Because I just think that they're always looking out to make trouble.
These are kids, by the way. Damn, I wish I could put it on the screen. I got to learn how to do that. These are kids, by the way. Now, what the scene is, we're looking at, and we'll see if I can show y'all. You say 2K.
Better turn around now. down this block, and these white people start saying, "Get out of here, niggas. You know, get out of my neighborhood." Don't come to the thing. Then they start hitting on her, throwing rocks and everything else. Throwing rocks. Because we were in their neighborhood. We went on a bike hike to McDonald's. We didn't mean to bother anybody. We had a nice parade down there. Gathering, so we went down there to see what was happening. I didn't even know people around here were like that. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. No, sure, but she had hit me with that rock. I would pick up the rock right next to me and hit him right in the face. They always say niggas are doing everything. They always say we're doing everything, right? We didn't. Every time the white people come down, but we don't push them out their neighborhood and throw rocks and start hitting them. We don't bother the white people around our neighborhood, but when we get in the white neighborhood, they just push us out. Yeah, everybody with us, so we're nothing, you know. We're a piece of dirt, dogs. I mean, that's the way you treat an animal. I mean, God, we're human beings. You don't treat other people like that. It's just wrong. Black, white, I don't care. A person is a person. Skin should have no bearing on how you treat a person. That's just wrong. I hate that goddamn gun. You don't hate them. I can't say that I hate them. I can't say that it's totally the kids' fault. I mean, I'm sure their parents had some bearing on the way they feel and everything else. I think it's just the system. I don't know.
How does this terrible thing affect your children? When they ask you these things, why? What do you tell them?
There are good and bad in every people, every race, regardless. Tell them that we just happen to be amongst a few people whose minds are warped. And I'm not going to teach them that, regardless of how many bombs they put at this house. I'm not going to teach my children hate.
See that? And we are always taught. But black people are just as racist too, right? Now listen to this.
White strangers, there's some danger. Black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. Them's the facts.
I'm afraid of them.
Of who?
Of them, the blacks. I'm afraid to go out at night.
What harm could they do? What's wrong with them? They're black. That's what's wrong with them. And the way I feel, black and white don't mix, and it's never gonna mix.
The Spencers moved in on New Year's Eve day a year ago. While the Spencers and their son slept, a pipe bomb exploded on the porch and smashed through the windows of the house. Attached to the bomb was a note that read, "Nigger, be warned. We have time. We will get your firstborn first." It was signed, Viva Boston, KKK. The two men indicted for the bombing were acquitted by an all-white jury.
We decided to help the Spencer family, to help any family that wants to move into a neighborhood and something goes wrong. Somebody comes, tells them to go back to Africa or some other slur. We are outraged by this. What we want? The right to live where we choose. What we want it. No, it shouldn't be.
People know that white and black people are never going to get along, so they should just stay apart, you know? Common sense. They just shouldn't try and get together because they just don't like each other, and they never will. It's the truth.
What do you think of black people?
I don't like this.
Why?
I really don't. Because I just think that they're always looking out to make trouble. If the mom said, you're only going to find them all over the streets and everywhere. That's right. They're going to be starting up with everybody. Because if one starts to look mom's out, the whole pack's coming.
Now, where do you think those children got that from? And this was, what year was this? 1976. 1976. All right, Kay. Thank you. She probably out of here. When y'all tell me this, I'm interested in helping my people understand. So when you listening to old Marblehead Anton Daniels, he's on the side of them. He's paid to say we are the worst. And we have never been. We have never been. I don't care what decade you look at, what century you look at, we have never been the problem. White people war with nature. Animals became extinct because of these people. See, that's bigger than rap. Y'all thought I was just going to sit in here and talk about TIP and Curtis? They breadcrumbs compared to what we face. They building concentration camps. And notice the psyche. Notice the methodology that they kept saying. We just start trouble. Now they walking around starting trouble. I told you that's probably next, my whole breakdown of the Karen. See, you don't understand that white psyche while you talking about you want to go lay with them. While you talking about they're more peaceful. And then you end up like that boy, what's his name, Talbot Rankin, who was out of his mind and said he would rather sleep with a dog than sleep with a black woman. And the dog got to be white. And the white girl that he said, I will DIE about her. That's exactly what she did as she took his life. So I don't feel for him. We have been conditioned to be out of our minds. And if you made it this far in my video, hit in the comments and say conditioned by what? What resources do you have? Ask me. I want to give out these resources. Hey, what's going on? I want to give out these resources because we lack understanding. Same thing you on. Conditioned by what? Conditioned by the Tavistock Institute. Peace. Conditioned by the Tavistock Institute. Conditioned by Edward Bernays. Conditioned by John B. Watson. Notice the young black girl said, it's not all of them. It's the system, I guess. Racism is a system. It's power. It's the power too. It's the power to be the president. Thank you for asking me that question, though. Are you yourself Mac? I don't know what Mac is. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like you're being funny, but whatever. See, I feel like you're being funny. And let me look, and if I find out you being funny, you stay your ass right there. I feel like you being funny on my live. Really? 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 What really are my thoughts on the TIB and 50 Cent beef? You would have to catch my live. Right, laugh your ass off. Really? Because, yeah, really, that's who you thought I was. All black looking like her. That's what you covered in that's the energy you covered in my room on. Okay, I'm answering this person. What really your thoughts on T.I. and 50 beef? I said this in the beginning, but I don't mind if you knew. My thoughts on this is I feel like the people that got a problem with what's happening, the people that are team 50, first of all, I'm team nobody. I'm team principle. I'm team principle or don't do sucker shit, right? So I'm team principle. And I feel like the people that have a problem and saying, oh, 50 and making pleas for 50, they don't understand family values. Right? They don't understand family values. They don't understand how standing up for the feminine energy of your household, the feminine energy that has been in your life. They don't understand what one band, one sound like, because we're always chaotic. We all playing our instruments at the same time, right? Because everybody want to be heard, right? So what I think, number one, because I like music and I like hip hop, rap, I don't like this drill news, this all of this genocide, right? But there are some levels to it that I like. I like the artistry of battle rap, right? So I like how Damani, and I've been listening to Damani for a while. Damani is extremely talented. I think although I might have my issues and I've called out T.I. for certain things in the past, I think that his family dynamics are beautiful. And I think 50 is a lonely, miserable SOB that nobody likes him. He just has a bunch of flunkies and people that he pays around him. He's not a family man. He's not anything that should be revered or admired. Make sense? Okay, you said 50 was wrong, but Tiny did those surgeries to herself. Now I'm gonna ask you two questions. Okay, number one, who is Tiny bothering outside of herself by having those surgeries? Right? And then two, we ask, why does a woman, now I'm not a woman, I'm just gonna ask this question. This could be a rhetorical question, or this could be, why do people have those type of surgeries? I always feel, just in my opinion, I'm not her, but I always feel like there's something somebody don't like about themselves when they feel like they got to do all of that stuff. Right? So regardless to if she shaved her head, that don't give people the right to roast her. She don't bother nobody. Okay, we say Tiny did it, but what about Naturi Naughton, who played in Power? He roasted her. What about Tierra Marie? He dogged her out. What about Clarissa Shields? He dogged her out. He forever with the damn Ja Rule. I don't think he ever gonna let Ja Rule rest. And the pattern that I'm laying out, Mr. What's your name, big dog? Mr. 504. I'm just gonna call you Mr. 504, G. Mr. 504 is, it's always us, big dog. They all lame. But you know, okay, let me see how I'm gonna respond to that. Because like you said, he got caught with a burner and that happened. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. I'm finally learning that they hit you for saying certain things, right? I don't know if he talked. I can't put that on the jacket until I see that, right? That's not something that I really crucify a brother for. No, don't rat on your people. But I don't really crucify a person for certain things, right? What I will crucify you for is messing with children. That's the one I'm gonna cook you about, right? But have you seen the Mr. 504? Have you seen the Vince McMahon accident video? Have you seen that video, G? And somebody say, well understood. Appreciate it. And if I don't, long as I like to have conversations on my live. So long as we talking, having good conversation, man, y'all can ask me anything. It's a conversation. If we black in this room. We black in this room together. If you have questions about my flag, don't be disrespectful. If you feel like you FBA, don't be disrespectful. What I want for my live, when y'all come in my live, that we can find a solution. You don't have to come on no rah-rah. I ain't see your answer. You just got the up, Mr. 504. So Vince McMahon got into an accident. Mike Epps. What about Mike Epps, dog? You losing me now, homie. Vince McMahon went out and had an accident and looked like he was hammered, like he was drunk. He wasn't under his right mind, whatever that is. But he wasn't in his right mind. And the police let him go. Because like you say, when you got that money, you can get away with things. And you're right, 50 ain't nothing but a lane with money, and that's why he's able to get away with certain things. And because, like I was saying earlier in my video, a lot of us collectively identify with his antics. We say, oh, he's just trolling. And I don't think a lot of us be live or have enough activity to when a troll get in your comments. And that's not cool. But we accept him being a troll, destroying black women, children. Because he's never going to, and like I was saying, I don't know if you was in here then, Mr. 504. I said he would never talk about Robert Greene like that, who he loves. He co-wrote the 50th Law with him. Robert Greene helped him write the 50th Law. He would never do that. So I don't respect nobody that have a reverence for the white boy or the white girl more than his own people. You're a paid lapdog to me when you do that. Right? But we got to get to a point of understanding, y'all. This is what my live is about. I like that. I like family values, Mr. 504. I like family values, and I like to see families stick together. I like to see how they come together and how they came around and protect that feminine energy. I would like it the same thing if they came around and protected the masculine energy. Right? We can have difference of opinions with people, but it's never personal. When it's personal, y'all will know when it's personal in my life. Like when I talk about Andrew Young, it's personal when I talk about him. So, you know, it's never personal when I'm talking about a celebrity I don't know. And that's what, but you know what, Mr. 504? That's what we done got away from, big dog. That's what we done got away from, homie. We don't have, and I'm assuming you're a black man, right, mister? I just want to know what type of masculinity I'm talking to first. Can I relate to it from a black man perspective? Or are you a white boy? Now, if you're a white boy, we still can talk from that. As long as you ain't in here like that. Anybody can come in my room, but anybody can get it in this room. All right? We're going to continue. That's the problem with us, Mr. 504. Through our conditioning, that we don't forgot our that we don't forgot our family values. We don't have family values no more. We've been pulled away from them. And notice what I was saying in the beginning was, notice how collectively black males are never upset until a man defend his wife. When Will Smith, and I'm gonna say this again for my dog, Mr. 504, when Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, as he should, I saw so many black males upset with him, talking about how he blew the bag, talking about how he lost his mind. No, first of all, I'm an 80s and 90s baby. So where you act up, where you cut up, you got beat up. Will was right, because what you don't do, I don't care if the world don't like my wife. I don't care if I don't like my wife for the second. I will not let nobody humiliate my woman. You know what I'm talking about? And when we get back on that principle, because I always say this, when they start being on the sucker stuff, Mr. 504, when they say, oh, now they got to try to find somebody that they feel that Will wouldn't have done that to, right? Because now they try to flip you and mind screw you and make you say, oh, Chris Rock is this bony, frail, comedian. He got picked on in high school. Well, you get your ass whooped all the time. You would think you would know how to navigate in the room and you wouldn't say stuff that get you punched in the face. Same thing with that Tourette syndrome guy. Punch him in the face. He'll know not to say nigger. Punch him in his face. A good punch in the face or make him remember. He might knock that word out of his vocabulary. But anyway, when they kept saying, oh, he wouldn't have did Mike Tyson like that. Oh, he wouldn't have done The Rock like that. Oh, he wouldn't have done Ray Lewis like that. Whoever they thought would have been a match, right? They kept saying, oh, Will Smith wouldn't have done him like that. And I said, well, let's flip the coin, or let's go to the other side of the scale. Would Chris Rock did Tom Hanks' wife like that? Would Chris Rock did that to Brad Pitt lady, and Brad Pitt had a wife for a lady, you think he would have clowned Brad Pitt's lady like that? But see, that's how that Willie Let's Chip work on them, y'all. It make you say, "Oh, now it's." And then what I really didn't like was the saying, "You fighting in front of white folks." You mean the people that don't take baths? You mean when Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher was on Dak Shepard show and they was talking about how they don't wash their hands? You mean Serena Williams' husband that said she taught him how to use a washcloth? Go look it up. These people, the people that eat people, where is it? Sit here. Talking about how after they took one of our ancestors out, they carved them up after they cooked him and they ate him. And we be up here talking about fighting in front of them and we look bad in front of them. You mean you look bad in front of the smelly white boy? Man, we got to get on our own principle. We got to get on our own code. We so busy worrying about everything is cause and effect in America, right? And we so busy worried about we still are the descendants of those ancestors that had to stick their head in laughing barrels in the presence of white folks. Because white folks are the ultimate tender dick and tender clit and insecure people that you can't laugh in their presence because they think you clowning them. So when you bring your head up out of that laughing barrel, you got to have a straight face because they're so insecure on the inside that they think somebody's laughing at them. And if you laugh for too long to the tree, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody said Seinfeld had to take up for it. You know what? No, who said that? Oh, that was my dog, Mr. 504. You know what? And they was trying. You know, I seen my boy. He's a good actor. I like Michael J. White's movies, and he was on Vlad cop it please for Chris and trying to cop pity and saying, you know, Chris get bullied. Man, get on somewhere. Somebody say, because then they humiliate you. Right. I'm just reading the comments. Right. So when we say this, that's what I'm saying. I don't like the whole, would he did that to who? And you got to find somebody else. Because nobody understood that Chris Rock had a history. This go beyond when he used to have the Chris Rock show. He had a history of saying things to Jada. He had a history of bothering the Smith family because that's what we're talking about with this whole T.I. and 50 Cent. It's the family versus him. It's not just dad versus him. You talked about our mother. This lady cleaned up my wounds when I fell. This lady fed me. And they have severely tricked us, brothers. They've tricked us out of loving and respecting the divine feminine energy. We don't even have a good relationship with the divine feminine energy. Not just the woman on a sexual tip. How we even raise our daughters. How you put that balance on the scale and you think that because you're a male and you got the phallus that you're allowed to have a baby outside of the relationship and she's supposed to be understanding. But they weaponize that word simp, right? I know what a simp is, right? Listen to what I'm saying. They weaponize simp and pick me only for us, right? Because they don't want us to have any type of love or reverence for each other, in my opinion. All of this is my opinion. If you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't, right? So notice when a brother say, I love black women. They used to do it to me all the time on my TikTok before I got off of that. And I would make posts and just say, you know what I love about black women? Oh, nigga, you ain't gonna get no buns. Out of nowhere. It's like, goddamn. You know, you ain't gonna, in my comments, you ain't gonna get no buns. All of that pandering, you ain't gonna get no cheeks. Who said I'm trying to get buns? I just want to give respect. I love women. But normalize giving a compliment without a motive. This is why we don't trust each other. Because we're doing everything for a motive. The ladies are doing everything for a motive, for the money, for the bag. And whenever you got a sister that's in the line and they say, I love the black man. Oh, she'll pick me. Oh, she'll pick me. Because again, but then in the technology, you'll run around, and I've seen so many. I don't call them sisters. I just call them females, black females, right? Because every black male ain't my brother, and every black woman ain't my sister. I'm clear enough to divide that line because I listen to you, and when I see you make a video and you say with no experience out of what you just see in your mind, right? And you say, I saw one female say, I'm just gonna say it. White men treat black women better. I'm just gonna go on and say it. And then it goes into some materialistic thing of how they take care of. We make white people think that they are so superior. Right? Because we pretend that they don't leave. Well, I don't think white people they deal with child support. You know what I think they do? I think they wait till the hottest day of the summer and they get them children in the car and they take them for a ride and they forget them in the car. And they get out and they say, I'll be right back. And the goddamn baby in there cooking like a weenie on 4th of July. They don't deal with child support. They just lock them in the car and take them for a ride. And when they come back, they say, oh, and look, these are true stories. They done went to work and did an 8-hour shift, baby in the car. Baby in the car, done. And he said, oh, I thought I dropped him off at daycare. You know you ain't dropped that goddamn baby off at daycare. All the windows up. He want to make sure he don't get no air. But they come from single mothers too. But you think the white ice is colder. You think that if you drive to wherever you from, the richest part of your city, and you drive there, you think because you got white adjacent or white ice from a neighborhood that ice is fresher, that ice tastes better. And we severely tricking these young ladies. And you got, for every one of those that found a quote unquote success story, whatever that is, I don't see no goddamn success story. You got ones like Sade Robinson. And Sade Robinson went on a date with a white boy and ended up hacking her up. Because you're not teaching a balanced understanding. You're teaching these young girls to go after a bag. And you're not teaching no cultural understanding. So therefore, they don't have a cultural understanding. They think we are the worst because we are the most exploited. We are the most viewed. I agree with that. You said the deluded will follow the delusional. And it's a lie. Yo, it's growing. Yo, it's growing, Chris. It's growing at a... To me, it used to be like, I say maybe like 60, 70%. Maybe a couple of years back. Now that stuff is like in the 90s. And we have a small percentage. It's enough of us out here, but we're spread it out. Hell, the fact that I'm getting this much positivity in my life, because usually I ain't getting nothing but negative. I ain't getting nothing but old lipless people in here. I'm getting people that just have a lack of understanding. Because it bothers a man that's not in tune and in balance with the energy inside of him when I say I love black women. He got to tell me how he got to lead them to tell me how deadly black women are and how treacherous and how it is. When the reason I don't lead with all that anger because I understood what happened to my people. I know clear what happened. So it ain't I don't see it. It ain't I don't see quote unquote black on black violence. But like I said earlier in the live, we are the only ones that we are really allowed to take frustration out on. Because we don't know how to take it out on nobody else. We don't know what it's like to come after them. It's unfamiliar territory. We don't understand that. And we got to understand the psyche of how we were conditioned. I'm going to keep saying that. Every time y'all come in my live, that's what most of my lives going to be about. There's going to be different topics that I'm going to break down. But I use a lot of books. I give away a lot of resources. I give away a lot of books. Because I don't want you sitting up here thinking that I'm not starved for attention. So I'm not sitting up here making you think I'm this grandiose mind. I'm extremely intelligent. But I got that from somewhere. And when you and these folks live and they purporting to be all of these scholars or whatever, ask them, tell them to give you receipts. The fact that you, Mark Johnson, been able to run this goddamn school scam for X amount of years and never get nobody receipts show you how gullible we are. And that's what we got. We got to gain control of our mind. That's what I'm talking about. We got to get our thoughts. How do you think? Forget how Anton Daniels think. Forget how Corey Holcomb think with his pervy self. How you think, black man. Forget how Cheryl Severin, Sprinkle, how she think. Forget how Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion think. How you think, black woman. What are your thoughts? I don't care about their thoughts. Their thoughts are manufactured. Right? So I said I wasn't going to be live and long. In the beginning of this live, I said I ain't going to be long. I ain't going to be long. God damn it, look, I done went an hour. But it's always a pleasure, especially when I have people that come in here and just talk with respect. So I'm about to get up out of here. Mr. Chris 30504, salute. Other Chris, salute. Everybody that came in and just listened,